in life. You can choose if you want to stay stuck within yourself and keep attracting things that will show you just how stuck you are, or you want to go through it and search for the pathway where you feel the most free. So how long you want to stay in your learnings is not something the universe decides, it's the amount of free will. And that's kind of how I see it.
So I come from the non-duality tradition, and there are some non-duality teachers who say there is no free will, everything just happens according to the cosmic plan.
Yeah.
You're not so fond of this kind of dogmas?
Yes and no, because when you completely let go of everything and are in completely trust within yourself, you open the borders to follow your heart. That means that then you are in peace within the journey of which you are meant to walk, and then you are walking the destination towards the destination and at the path you're meant to. So in that order, they're completely right. If you choose it in a form where you let go of everything, because then it's easier instead of looking inside of yourself, then you're doing it in a form where it's kind of, for me, feels fake. Then you are letting go of responsibility to life, you're letting go of your own life force, you're letting go of the whole beauty in the creation of life. And I always say, if we're sent here to just sit and meditate on a mountain and do nothing else, why are we here at all?
Yeah, good question.
Yeah.
Any answer to why we are here on Earth?
I love this one. Well, Source wanted to see himself in other forms. That's like the ultimate answer.
So it's God playing hide and seek with himself.
Yeah, kind of. He wants to experience. If you look at it in a scientific way, when you have these plus and minus thing going on and you make friction, then if you put it down, then you can see what outcome will happen, and that creates energy. And that energy form helps the universe of expanding and understanding and growing in knowledge, which is also kind of expanding. So yes, in that form. As souls, we are here to experience and expand our own soul stream. As collective, we are here on Earth. Earth was an experience, also experience an experiment, and we're here to help develop ourselves on this experiment. At some point we were also here to help the Earth develop, but at this moment it's kind of helping us the most.
And I could imagine that someone is watching this and think, well, it's a beautiful lady and she's 27 years old, but where did she get her knowledge? At 27 I was still chasing the other sex and going partying. And how come you are at such a young age receiving this kind of wisdom? Did you read a lot? Did you visit gurus? Did you read books?
No, I've been reading 3 books in my entire life.
Okay, tell me.
Eric Tolle, how do you pronounce
Eckhart Tolle?
Yeah, I love that guy so much.
The Power of Now?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I read that one, and then I read somebody say, how do you pronounce this in English? Ask Your Guidance. And a handbook about angels and uprising masters. That's the 3 only books I read in my life.
And what happened after reading those books?
What happened were this woman who told me that I was an angel sent to Earth and she will help me to discover my gifts. So what she did was she helped me realize that I have always been what I am. So I just had to learn to separate myself from everybody else. So in that form, I could feel clearly who felt what.
So you are clairvoyant, or how do you call it with a beautiful name?
I always never know what to call myself. So if you have a really good slang, let me know. The only thing I know how to explain it is I am an energy form who have the ability to become one with everything. So I know how you're feeling because I become you in that moment. I know how the table are vibrating because I become one with it. I know how somebody's dead grandma is feeling because I become her for a moment, and then I just put voice to the feeling and the vibration of which she contains.
Isn't that scary sometimes?
I always did it. I was just not consciousness about that was what I did. So therefore, for me, it's not scary.
And
no.
could it be possible to lie to you? Because let's say I'm hiding something.
No.
You would feel it immediately.
Yes, especially if you were hiding it.
Yeah.
So everything you suppressed persists inside of you, and therefore that would be the first thing I'm feeling. What sometimes happens is that people come in a state of mind and they want answer for their mind. Then I don't understand their questions. And when they're not linked to the emotional system within themselves, I feel this disconnection in our talk. So I have to ask them that either they go to their heart or go inside, choose that they want to open up, or else they need to find another therapist, or what you call it.
Yeah.
Because I can tell them what their heart is saying, but their mind is not ready to hear this. So yeah, that's kind of the only thing. But also funny sometimes.
Yeah?
Yeah, like, no, I want to know this. I'm like, yeah, so I'm not gonna answer your questions. What you really want to know, no, it's not me. And then they have this a big amount of resistance. But then when they come home, form themselves, allow themselves to go through that resistance, there's something within themselves that know that this is how they feel. But sometimes people are not always ready to see things inside of themselves, and they're not ready to be seen. And therefore ego have a reaction. Yeah, so that happens sometimes.
So people get angry at you? Walk away?
It's not so often,
No.
but it have happened, yeah.
And you're not someone who, I can imagine, goes to the clerk at the grocery store and says, hey, you have to quit this job. It's not good for you. Bye-bye. Or how does that work?
No, not so.
You only say it when you're asked to give some advice, or...
No, if I have a feeling inside I have to tell people something, I do it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No matter what the consequences may be.
Yeah, I don't think about the consequence, because I don't go to people and say, oh, you have to be careful. It's always something about them having to see the beauty within themselves, or know that everything will be okay, or just show them love.
It's positive, something positive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, always. When I was a kid, sometimes I did tell people about that grandma or something in the bus, but I didn't think about it. So for me it was just normal. I didn't even realize that it wasn't normal. So that was first later, I look in the back mirror and I was like, oh, oops. But I don't do that anymore.
Yeah. I see a beautiful tattoo on your left shoulder. That's Mr. Jesus?
Mr. Jesus himself.
Why Mr. Jesus on your left shoulder?
We have Jesus and Maria Magdalena.
Ah, great.
Yeah.
Great. I haven't, yeah.
And,
now I see the connection, yeah.
And she looks a little bit alien, but that might be for a reason too, I don't know. So...
Did you get the both together, or first?
I got her first.
Ah.
For me, I always never really felt home on Earth. I'm starting to. And I can connect with everything, but when you can connect with everything, you also can connect with nothing. So for many years, the feeling of connecting with nothing was the most dominating feeling. And I didn't feel like my parents was my parents really. I could see we looked like each other, but I felt I was something else. And so energetically, I felt like Jesus and Maria Magdalena was my mom and dad, kind of.
Oh.
So when you take their energy form, combine it into one, I feel like I energetically is that outcome.
Yeah, it's beautifully said.
Yeah.
So it's not because you the Bible is your big book.
No. I really love this, and thank you for bringing it up. All religions have something really, really beautiful, like something essentially, also the Bible. There's a lot of beauty in it, a lot of truth in it. I know Jesus existed, and I by heart I feel his passions, his mission, what he wished to bring here. But the Bible, the Quran, all these books are rewritten by man, and man has an ego, and in this world reality where we are somebody are very controlled by power and stuff like that. They write it so the story shift for somebody's beneficially sides, and it's the same thing about the Bible for me. So there's a lot of truth in it. I like being in churches, I like being in these holy places, but it's because within me it connects to the essence, the beautiful thing, the seeing the light within yourself and each other, and just let your burdens go. So in that form, so in an energetic way.
And it's not only Christianity that you're fond of, because you got a new tattoo, and it's in Arabic.
Arabic, yeah.
Yeah.
It says, "It shall be on earth as it is in heaven," and then Amen. In my past lives, I'm very connected to the Arabic culture, like Egypt and stuff like that. I really, really love the deep in the soul of these places, this country, and the message also, like I said before, also in the Quran. If you take all the control and fear away, the message is pure, and I can see these pure red lines within all the books. But all the fear putting upon it, all the control putting upon it, are really separating us as humanity instead of bringing us closer together. I'm certain that none of these books was created to separate us or tell us that one was better than other. Yeah. Burn in fire. No, it's not about that. The true essence is about realizing that God is part of us. When we are in connection with our heart, with God, then we walk in the direction which is most beneficial for us and for each other, so we can be together in one union. But all the fear upon "you shall not, you may not, you will burn in fire," it was never intended that way. So it really hurts my feeling that this is the part that catch humanity so much. I was recently in Kiev. I was in this big temple, I think you call it a monastery or something, with all these monks in their black stuff.
Yeah, the robes.
Yeah, and I feel so home at monasteries. I have had a lot of life as what do you call that? A nun.
In a previous life?
Yeah. So I come in there and I immediately feel home, and I just feel like my heart is opening, and I just want to like put my hand on people and save them for all their stuff, just instant that feeling. I am behaving though, but and then I look around and all these priestess or monks look like this. All the people who are there are like
worshipping,
like being in this suffering role. And I'm like, it's not about that. When you come in the house of God, when you come in the center of the heart where you should feel safe, where you should feel home, it's not letting go of your burden like, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. It's like letting go and put in love. And the whole, also when they do when you go in, you do like this, right? And then they bow down, keep bowing down. Inside of my feeling, instead of doing this, they should of course make the cross and open up, like saying, God, here I am.
Just like Maria stands with her hands open.
Exactly.
Yeah. Take in whatever may come. Or what does that mean to you?
That she stands with her hand open?
Or feel everything.
It's an open heart. It's come into my arms, you are all welcome, I love you unconditionally.
No matter what.
No matter what, yeah.
And then there's the all-seeing eye.
Yes, and this is so funny. I often get this, are you Illuminati? Yes. I love it.
Yeah.
So I always say, yeah, I am Illuminati, and then people, what does she mean? Illuminated means uplighting.
Uplighting?
Uplighted, yeah. And in isolated form, uplighted just means that you have the ability to see clearly. Horus eyes or the all-seeing eye is also just a symbol of that I am seeing you for everything you are and the whole reality for what it is, without ego in between. So when people ask about the Illuminati part, I say, well, it started with being a symbol of something pure. So what do you do with pure symbols if you want to control people?
Yeah.
You do the same as with the Bible.
You misuse it.
Exactly. So now it's a symbol of something evil. So every time you see it, your body produces fear, and these people are feeding on fear, right? So I place it in the middle of my heart, so I will shift it back.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
I saw the movie Zeitgeist. I imagine you saw it also.
Which one?
Zeitgeist. It's a documentary, and they really explain also where this symbol comes from.
I don't watch so much TV. I only watch Disney movies, so I haven't seen it.
Okay. And what is your favorite Disney character?
I like the one from Frozen.
What's her name again?
Elsa.
Oh, you look a little bit like Elsa.
I do. I think that must be why I like it so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the Jungle Book.
No, I always start crying. It's horrible.
Yeah. And I can imagine that some people come up to you and say, well, what about children? Is Elisa ready to have children?
I've been through this. I've been through this inside of my system a couple of times because I've been seeing children that wanted to come in, and people often come and tell me that this little girl is waiting. I believe it's still a boy, but it doesn't matter what it will be. So I told the universe, and as I tell other people, I am okay with whatever outcome. If I become a mom, if I'm chose to be a mom, I am open for that. That child just have to find her own father, you know. So I told it already.
And you point at, what do you point at when you say that? I told it already? To the higher force, or? If
you have your aura, and the children who are possible to incarnate at some point enter your aura, this is one of the reasons why you're feeling this whole, what do you call this thing, when you feel that you want to have children all of a sudden?
Yeah, your clock, your internal clock.
Yeah, the clock starts ticking.
Yeah.
So there had been like a spirit a couple of times in this area. But the thing is, I'm okay with both outcomes. If I'm never meant to be a mom in this incarnation, it's also fine. So inside of me, I have let go of attachment to be a mom or not be a mother, but open for what is meant to be.
But how do I know what is meant to be? Sometimes I'm in doubt. I think, well, what to do? Should I quit this job or not? Or
yeah, you're thinking. That's the whole trick.
Then deciding over here.
Yeah.
Never a good thing.
Well, some people need it, and some people find it useful in their development to use the mind so much. Within me, this is not something that makes sense, because your heart already knows, right? Mm-hmm. Your mind just wants to understand, which is awesome. But when your mind wants to control the outcome, you are fooling yourself, because you can't control from a mind what your heart already have decided. Then you're just blocking yourself. If your heart wants to have kids, but you in your mind say, I don't want to have kids, then you are constantly finding yourself.
Yeah.
So it's really letting go of these beliefs that you think you have to, and feel into what you want.
And how do I feel the difference between what my heart wants and what my mind is telling me?
Your mind are also always asking questions.
It's okay.
Like, what if? Or doubting. Your mind is doubting.
Yeah, and the heart knows.
Yeah, the heart knows. It's either yes or no, or a none or numb feeling. When you have a numb feeling, maybe it's because it's in this moment has not that big value. Because if it had, you will feel something.
So if I'm cheerful about something, like for example this interview, I was really looking forward to it, Then I know it's okay.
Yeah, then you have a feeling that, oh, I really want to do this. I don't know what it is, but I feel excited. I'm going this direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let me think. Oh no. Feel what comes up.
Yes.
You speak to a lot of people about this, also in conference rooms and one-on-one. And do you call it satsang?
No.
Why not?
I don't know. What does satsang means?
Yeah, they say coming together in truth.
Oh, that's nice. Maybe I should try that.
Okay.
I just call it lectures or workshops or whatever, because for me, as I told you, I don't read books, don't see televisions, I don't know all these, I call it human practical stuff. So I don't always know how to translate it into human understanding and which words will be most right to represent which energies. I just know what I feel, and this is what I give people.
Yeah. And do you never feel like, what's the right English word, homesick? That you think, oh, Denmark.
No.
I miss you.
No.
So is the whole world your birthplace then? Nothing, there's no preference? Denmark, then Germany, then Holland, then...
For me, home is where the heart is. So where my heart guides me, this is my home. Like right now my heart is guiding me to Hungary. So I feel the urge to go there.
Yeah.
Because this is what my heart wants.
And is it then for the greater good? Is it because Hungary needs Elisa, or is it because Elisa needs Hungary?
What's the difference?
Well, if Elisa needs Hungary, you could think, oh, Elisa is just so restless and she just wants new input. And the other thing, it sounds very sacred. You think, well, Hungary needs some light to come over there.
Exactly. So when you follow your heart, when it's an open feeling, and even that you can see, if, for example, Hungary, there's a lot of things that might not be so beneficial for my jumpiness. Yeah. But my heart feels open. I feel more grounded in a form. So that's because that I feel my energy is needed there. When I came to Holland, it was the same thing. I need a lot of nature, there was not so much of that, but I felt that I was needed here because my heart made the openness feeling and the grounded feeling at the same time. If I want to go somewhere just to something exciting, I'm not so good at that actually. It lasts like a half day because I can only do what feels true to my heart. And my restlessness, I can feel it, then I'm sitting like shaking on a table and then I want to do something. But because I don't know what I want to do, because my heart actually doesn't want me to stay, I keep sitting at the table or go for a run.
Yeah, or with the bike, because you're also
Along
cycling.
Biking, yeah.
And you do boxing, you told me?
Yeah.
Isn't that about hurting other people?
For me, it's about feeling. There's so much honor in it, actually. Honor to yourself, but also to each other. I feel really home in fighting gyms because people are taking care of each other and taking care of themselves. It's not, you also meet these ego kind of people, but a lot of the people comes there because they have something inside and they want to fight for something. Of course, it's not beneficial to fight your whole life through, like inside of yourself, but they finding a balance within themselves. And for me, it's about the flow, it's about the movements, it's about when you do the sparring, for example, you have to be present in your body, you have to be 100% in the moment, and that is what I love. I'm really flying around, I'm learning to be in my body, but I have the tendency to be one with everything, so to feel the physical border, I for a long time needed extremes. Now I don't need extremes in the same form, but it helps me to feel physical borders, and it helps me to be inside of me, and I love that. It's really cool. I don't know how you guys are doing it, but I love it.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, yeah, that's my hands. Not bad at all.
Aren't you afraid that people are going to see you as something special? That they're going to worship you, just like Muji put you on on a big podium and when they come in they want to kiss your feet and stuff? Or is there anything wrong with that?
I'm not afraid of it. And I am also not saying that anybody should worship anybody. I know that I'm just here to be an example and to be somebody who can translate something that can help people to help themselves. I don't have a wish of being worshipped. I just have a wish of sharing my message with as many people as possible while I'm here.
Well, people could give the comment underneath the YouTube video, well, she just wants to be special. She has all the tattoos and the new name and she gives interviews. It's not about your ego trying to be someone.
No, I just am who I am. And if that helps people, I'm grateful. If they feel triggered by it, I'm kind of grateful as well, because then that's something within them. I'm not trying to prove anything, and I always tell people this: whatever you choose to do with the message of which I bring, it's 100% up to you. It's your journey, your ego, your heart. I'm just a messenger, and I just do what feels most right within me. I don't fear how people perceive my messages. I don't fear their, well, blah 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 blah, because I am true to myself, and I know as long as I'm true to myself, then I feel okay. If I had to create a character, like somebody, I don't know how you do that. Like have to create, oh, I am this, now I'm sitting in yoga stilling because I'm blah blah blah. Yeah. Then I could have the fear of the
following.
Yeah, like people will see the true self that I really am.
Yeah.
But that's not the case because I'm just myself. So therefore, I don't have a feeling to it. No.
Yeah. And I can prove this because I just talked to you for half an hour before the interview. I'm seeing the same Elisa now as
a half hour ago.
Yeah. So sometimes when I interview people, okay, now the camera is on. They leave long pauses before they answer, and they go with a deeper voice and say, "No, you see it all wrong. Let me tell you."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people needs that. But
are they afraid to show them? Is that the big thing? Are people afraid to show their real selves?
That is one of the big themes in life. It is that we think we have to be. We think we have to be something, which is not who we are. So we are neglecting a big part of ourselves. We have to behave in a certain way. If you're a spiritual teacher, you have to do yoga and meditate like 10 hours a day or something. I don't do any of it, you know. So it's about bringing everything that you are. It's about embracing everything that you are. And then from there you become one with yourself. But many people don't realize it completely, and many people still have fears also because of how the reality were, like the conditions we were brought up with. So this is belief systems. They're still circling around in them. Other people have this ego thing, so when they want to connect with something, they need to quiet the mind, need to make everything inside of them silent so they can connect to this out of voice that can tell them what they need to tell, instead of just connecting with their heart. But as I see it, people are perceiving the world reality in different forms, and people need different doorways to get to the same place. But for every individual, they will always and are always able to find the answers within themselves, in their heart, not out in space or underground or within me, you know, but inside of their heart. And it's not always we can reach that point, and there it's nice to have help, but there's nobody here on earth that don't have the answers inside of themselves. We're just not all aware of it, and we're just not all capable of reaching it yet.
Beautifully said. Can you explain your last name once more? Because I know the meaning of namaste, but it disconnects to this what you're just telling, right? Namaste meaning?
I salute your soul as you say hi to mine. Like I see you purely for who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also heard the explanation. I recognize you as myself.
Yeah.
So I'm talking to myself right now.
Yeah, kind of.
On a deeper level.
On a deeper level, yeah.
And well, there's still this question that a little bit runs through all the interviews that I'm doing. The big why question.
Why are we here?
Well, why would God or the one force divide himself into such difficult life forms and then start beating on each other?
What we have to understand is it's not difficult for him. The moment we are out of the three-dimensional world, we realize it's not difficult at all. When we are here, it's because we are capable of feeling emotions. We are capable of feeling these senses like pain and love and stuff like that. The minute we are out of the three-dimensional world, we do not feel this anymore. It is truly not a painful thing, but a gift. But we don't realize it because when we are here, we think it's pain. When we are out of this world reality, we realize it's amazing to have the experience, to have the opportunity to feel and sense what it will mean, what it will say to have this emotionally duality thing going on. So he created it out of love.
So nothing wrong with the world?
Yes and no. So no, like from the highest perspective, nothing wrong with the world. When we are here, we have kind of rules of games, rules, yeah. And when you go a little bit of dimensions out, when the universal, how everything should be in balance, just still where vibrations are mixed together. We are meant to be a vibrationally matched to the shift in the universe, and therefore something with where the earth have to be more in aligned, where we have been suppressed by heavy energies for quite long. And if there's too much heavy energy, earth just, game over, start again. But as the existence of the humanity will be pretty awesome to continue, we need to maintain this balance on